Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is season 7, episode 14. If you count all of them, it's 289 episodes. I can't believe it. I'm Craig.
I am the president of the I Hate Mac Jones fan club. My friends call me Sinch.
It's Sinch. You're back. How are you?
I'm still here. I'm
I
wonderful.
feel like I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
Oh, everything's just super.
Good.
I'm just so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here because Sean is sick and Britt is in Vegas, possibly fighting some pit boss. He might be in the Nevada State Prison. I don't know.
I just asked him if he's seen the Sphere. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
To me, that is more interesting than any casino they have, than anything going on the strip.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see that. That's the kind of thing I could take a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute deep dive on social media, just looking at everyone's clips of the first U2 show, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think U2 was so amazed by it. I think they actually were looking at it while they were playing. It is pretty cool. Actually, no, it would be really cool because they're having the F1 race in Vegas soon-ish. Like if they made the Sphere like have an eye so it followed the race as it went by. That'd be cool, but that's just me.
See, I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but as soon as you said there's going to be some kind of NASCAR type race,
mm-hmm.
and we're talking about the Sphere, and the first thing I think of when you mention NASCAR, because I'm not a fan. First thing I think
of, excuse me, sir, before we offend people,
it wasn't
especially
NASCAR?
In other countries, it's F1. It is not.
Yeah, F1, F2, all of them.
It's not NASCAR. You can't. You
it's just a tornado.
Yes.
So the first thing I think of when I hear any kind of professional auto racing,
yes,
is crashes. Uh-huh. So I was thinking, what if one of them crashed into the Sphere? No, I don't want that.
No, I think they are putting up like bleachers and redoing the pavement. So,
well, good for someone. Someone likes that.
It'll be interesting. But you know what else was interesting?
Tell me.
If we just get right into it and we go with our normal segue, what are you drinking?
My friend, this evening I've passed up the beer for it is Jim Beam Red Stag. It is a black cherry whiskey.
Oh,
and it's really good. I enjoy it often.
Is it like a sour cherry kind of thing? Like, is there any cherry flavor, or is it really just a smell?
No, you definitely get the cherry. It's not sour. I wouldn't say it's sweet. I could say this. I've mixed this with a Coke, and it tastes like a really good cherry Coke.
Oh, you know what? That was one of my favorite sodas. That and Dr. Pepper.
This isn't something that I would think you would want to drink until you got really drunk because of the sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
But
so does it taste like there's the maraschino cherries?
It's that's I think that's more of the words are hard. Yeah, it's a different cherry flavor, like a black cherry.
All right.
I don't know, like if you've ever had black cherry ice cream. Now this doesn't taste like ice cream, and it's not creamy, but it's that cherry flavor.
Oh, you know what? I bet that would be good if you put it over ice cream.
I don't know why people would do that. It's like a bad dare.
People put balsamic vinegar over ice cream. Flavor.
Yeah, I don't know why people would do that. People are weird. What are you drinking?
Yeah. So, as Britt mentioned last week, Laura and I went up to Lake George with Britt and his lovely wife. I have not been to Lake George since I was in high school. So that was a fun trip. It's a very, very fun trip. And we hit a couple breweries. And one of them in particular was Common Roots. Really cool place. Really good beer. They make their own pizza, which was also very good. But this is their flagship IPA. It's called Good Fortune. So this is a mix of Galaxy, Amarillo, and El Dorado hops to saturate your palate with notes of pineapple, zesty tangerine, and stone fruit. It's very good, very smooth, and it's not overly juicy. I like it.
Judging by the picture, to say it's cloudy would be an understatement.
Yeah, you can't see through this at all.
Looks good.
It's hazy. It's definitely hazy. It's very good.
So
It is a little different in a can from when it's on tap. And that really quick aside, quick thing about tap beers and being in Lake George. The other brewery we went to was Northway Brewing, right? Very good. Britt's bought back some of their beer. Also, I think Britt bought like 2 cases of beer while we were up there. But so
if he needs me to house sit that beer, I'm available.
So when you get a flight, right? They give you, it comes in like usually like a little wooden board thing where like the
little
glasses
paddle
thing. Yeah, exactly. And usually they put them in the order you write down the flight of the beer in, right? When you write on the little card.
Yes, I'm
so
there.
They'll either put like a number on it, like in front of it, so you know what it is, or they'll like abbreviate the name. And usually it's like a chalkboard or something, or they'll tell you, like it go from left to right or whatever. So Northway uses a paddle, an actual paddle looking thing, and it has a handle on the end of it, right? And on one side, when you look down at all your glasses, one side of it has numbers, but the numbers are engraved in the wood, and it's really subtle. Okay. The problem with this is if you're left-handed and you pick up the paddle with your left hand and you go to put the flight on the table, the numbers are on the other side of you upside down. So I noticed this on the first flight that I had, and on the second one I did not notice it, and I drank my beers backwards. But they were still very good. So I'm just saying, put the numbers on both sides. That's all.
I'm sorry, unless your name is Michael Penix or Tua Tagliavaiololo, lefties don't matter.
They do in baseball.
I'm sorry. Well, this isn't baseball.
In
I'm
boxing.
I'm prepared to give you a long baseball fantasy podcast.
We can still make one.
That's not here for now. See, the problem with that is you have to do it every day.
You do have to do it. I wouldn't even not probably not every day, but you'd have to do it several times a week at least.
It's just it's there's a game every single day a game. There's like 15, 16, 14 games every day. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So your beer, is it a sweet tasting beer? Is it
no,
does it taste like beer?
It tastes like beer. It's an IPA. It is not really bitter. The bitterness is like very subtle, but it's very, very smooth. It's 6.5%. 6.5%. So
it sounds and looks very good.
It is very good. I only bought a 4-pack of like different. It was 4 different IPAs. I didn't buy a case of beer. I should have, but I did good.
Next time.
Next time.
How far? No one cares. How far of a drive is it
to Lake George? It was about, from where we are, about 3.5 hours. So not bad.
Okay. That's why I was saying no one cares, because really, if anyone listening to this does not care how far away it is.
No, they can look it up, but yeah.
No. Just like no one cares that my wife and I are going away for the weekend up to Provincetown in Cape Cod, and that is about 4.5 hour drive from here. Okay. So yeah, it's a long drive.
Cape May is about 4 hours or so. Yeah. So everywhere we go to around here, people, it's about 4 hours. Another quick thing, because we don't have a lot to talk about tonight, so tonight's going to be pretty short. I saw this thing like, what shocked a European being in America? And he said distance is measured in time. He's like, no matter what, it is measured in time. How far away is that? Oh, about 20 minutes. How far away is that? Oh, about an hour and a half.
That's because we don't know how far away it is in, what do they say, kilometers?
It's kilometers.
Yeah, what's a kilometer? I don't know how far that is. You can't go to Europe and ask where something is, because you'll never find it.
1.4 miles, I think, something like that. But
yeah, give up.
That was funny. There's really no, unless you have a burning hot take, and I don't have any really news. I thought we would just play America's favorite game next, unless you have something
I have a
pressing? Because
quick
nothing's
note.
really sure. Go for it.
So the thing that really matters to me and to several other NFL teams' fan bases, every week now, no one's going to hear this except for you guys in the podcast chain, and you guys don't care. But every week I'm
You
going to
love
look.
Mac Jones. I know.
Here's your top 5 draft picks. Draft the team with the top 5 picks.
Okay.
As of right now, if the season ended and the draft were to happen. So number 1 would be the Bears with their pick. That's really the Panthers pick that they traded. Mm-hmm. So the Bears have the 1 pick and the 2 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go Cardinals, Broncos, Giants, Patriots. Now I'd like to see that flip before the season ends. And did you see Kyler Murray has been added to the 21-day practice? So they have 3 weeks now to activate him.
They
or
do.
He sits out for
they
the season.
do. And Call of Duty comes out November, first week of November, I believe.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I need him to be activated or Josh Dobbs to go off because I need them to get about 5 wins, and then I don't have to think about them.
Right.
Here's my goal, okay? Mm-hmm. My goal is for the Patriots to not win any more games.
Okay.
The final game of the season, I would like for the Patriots to have the number 1 pick wrapped up before the final game because they play the Jets the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing would make me happier than for the Patriots to have the number 1 overall pick and beat the Jets, knocking them out of the playoffs on that last regular season game.
But what if you needed the Jets? What if you needed the Jets to beat them for them to get the first pick?
Well, then I want the Jets to beat them.
Okay.
I need the first pick. And then the other thing, we say there was no news. This Caleb Williams, did you see what his agent leaked out? He leaked that Caleb Williams, whichever NFL team drafts him, he wants to have a stake in ownership to go there.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Okay, well, first off, that's illegal and you can't do that. Secondly, Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls and he didn't have a stake in any of these teams. I think you got to do something. Even if you could do that, I think you got to do something in the league before you can own one of the teams.
I think so. Or be like Tom Brady and own a team afterwards. Doesn't he own part of the Raiders now or something?
I don't think it's officially gone through, but it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's kind of absurd.
It's a really bad look. In fact, it's such a bad look that I think anyone who hears it would say, wow, that's a really bad look. And it's so bad that I don't even think this kid said it. I wouldn't be surprised if other agents representing or hoping to represent other players in the draft are saying that, hoping this guy drops down. That's how bad of a look it is.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, plus before this, there was already the rumor that his dad decided they might pull a Manning family thing and not go to the first team who gets the first pick. If they don't like it, he might go back to college if that happens. So yeah,
I'll tell you, I would be so spiteful if I were one of these owners and the guy came out and said, I'm going to the pros and I draft him. And he says, no, trade me. I'd say, no, I'm not going to trade you. No, I'm not trading. I drafted you. I want you to be on my team. Yeah, I don't want to play for you. Then you're not playing for anybody because I drafted you.
Yeah, so now you get to do nothing for the next 4 years. So, yeah.
Anyway,
on to America's favorite game. And just a quick reminder, America's favorite game. We're recording really quick though, too. We're recording this on a Thursday, which is a day late for us, just because things happen. So the Jaguar-Saints game is not going to be on this list. But America's favorite game, we have to look at, or Sinch has to figure out which games of the week are under 40 and which games of the week are over 50. Because that may determine who you want to use in your lineups. So this week, Mr. Sinch, there is one game over 50. But there are, because we're in that time of the season, there are 3 games under 40, and there's 1 game at 40.
Wow.
So you don't have to do the 40 game. Just pick the unders. So, so which one would you like to guess first? Yes.
I'll say this. Watch the weather forecast because in the northeast part of the country, it's rained like every weekend. And this
it's
weekend
this weekend too.
There's rain, there's wind. So that does make a difference. And I think the under, I haven't researched it, but I think the under has hit way more often than the over this year so far. So, and here's a quick prediction for the Saints game that happened before you're listening to this. My prediction is 23-20 Saints win. Okay, so moving on.
Yes.
My first under pick is going to be the game of backup quarterbacks. Okay. So I'll take the Raiders-Bears for under.
Raiders-Bears is correct. That is a 37.5.
Yay. Okay.
Okay.
No whammies. My next under pick is going to be, I'm going to shoot for the Browns and the Colts.
Oh, that is close. That is incorrect. That is a 40.5.
Oh, missed it by half a point. That's all right. I'm reloaded. I'm ready to go. I'm going to say Commanders-Giants.
Commanders-Giants. You are correct. That is a 37.5.
I'll take the under. Okay, so we're looking for more unders.
One more under.
How about the Falcons at the Buccaneers?
Wow, he is on fire. That is a 37.
It's not that I'm on fire. These are some bad matchups.
All right, do you want to? I won't count this as a strike, but do you want to take a stab at the 40 game? Then I'll just tell you what it is if it's wrong.
Is this including the Monday night?
This is all week.
Maybe the 49ers Vikings for the Monday night.
Nope,
probably not right.
That is a 44.
How about the Packers at the Broncos?
Where is that game?
Denver.
No, that's a 45.
Ooh, Cardinals Seahawks.
No, wait. You're gonna get the you're narrowing down your overs.
The over. I'll guess the over first. It's the Chargers Chiefs.
Chargers Chiefs is incorrect. That's a 48.
Lions Ravens. First game. 1 o'clock.
That is incorrect. It's a 43.
Dolphins Eagles. Told you I'm ready to go.
Dolphins Eagles is correct. That is a 52.
Yay, though I might have struck out 3 times, I did finally get the correct answer.
The game that was at 40 is the Buffalo Bills at the Patriots.
Wow, they think it's going to be 40-0 Buffalo. I could see it.
So, yeah. And just to point out really quick, Josh Allen is on the cover of Madden, and he barely escaped last week from injury. So,
all right. Let's not wish ill.
It's good. I'm not wishing. I'm just saying.
He's my starting quarterback in several different fantasy leagues. Let's just, hold it together. You know what I think in that game this week? I think that's going to be 17-0 Buffalo to start the game, and then just, hey, let's not get hurt. Everybody, you're going to see a lot of group hug tackles. There's not going to be a lot of high flying. That's what I could see, like a, I don't know, 25-9 kind of win for Buffalo. I would definitely take the under. Buffalo in the under. It's the way to go.
All right. So yeah, before we get to the to our lineups, are there any bets this week for you, or was that it?
Oh, it's way too early.
Still too early.
Here's my one tip. You're gonna have to. You're not going to get much out of this tip by itself, but Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, they're playing an NFC team, the Lions. Lamar is 15-1 on the money line against NFC teams. He is 7-9 against the spread. So bet the Ravens money line. He's 15-1. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. All right. It is time for some lineups. Now remember, we cannot give you a full lineup, and we have no metric this week because, like I said, Britt is arguing with some pit boss right now in Vegas. So, looking down the list of quarterbacks, for me personally, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert are all 8,000 and up. That's too much for me. Too much. This week, I'm looking like middle of the road guys, which are like 6,000 ish. So I'm looking at Geno Smith playing Arizona, or Jordan Love, who is actually having a pretty good season, all things considered, and he's playing Denver, who is not that super. Who I actually thought their defense would be better, but the whole team is a mess. So that's who I'm going with this week. How about you?
I think this is a good week to go to a lower priced quarterback. I could see. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
I've been sitting.
If you were to guess the line on who I'm going to pick on quarterback, you would lose because I'm coming up with P.J. Walker.
Wow.
Cleveland Brown quarterback. He's at 4,800. So we're going low on quarterback.
All right. I mean, you got to save money somewhere, right?
I just, if it's not him, it's going to be Mahomes, and he's 8,300. So I'm almost half the price, and that'll hopefully give me room to go. I don't know, with somebody. You'll have to wait and see.
All right, on to running back. Now remember, you need 2 running backs, and bye weeks and injuries are in the thick of that. So it gets pretty slim pickings pretty fast. So the top running back this week is 8,600, and that's Austin Eckler. Next one down is Barkley, who's 8,100. Josh Jacobs is 74, and Robinson is 73. And then after that, Sinch, I don't know, because we have like people who are out. We have people who are questionable. I mean, maybe Jonathan Taylor is 6,500, but he's playing Cleveland. Nah, I don't know.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm excited here. So I went PJ Walker to go with low money so I could spend a little at running back.
Mm-hmm.
One of my new favorite players in the league is, I can't even remember his first name.
Okay.
All I see is the first initial here.
What's his last name?
I believe it's Kenny Walker III.
Yes, it is. The Texas Ranger.
Yes, he is. Walker, Texas Ranger, has become one of my more favorite fantasy players on my team. He has a touchdown in, I think, 5 games in a row now. If not 5, it's 4. Mm-hmm. He's been a lot of fun to watch. And if they get the ball inside the 5, he is running it in. So I have him. And I think this is a good week to go with Josh Jacobs because they're playing against the Bears. And either the Bears don't want to win or they're not capable of it. I wish they would go and prove me wrong and win about 4 or 5 games this year. But anyway, that's who I would be leaning towards for running back.
Okay, awesome. And then on to receivers. As you know, you have to pick 3 receivers. And again, the money is it's really high and then it drops off. So the top receiver this week is Cooper Kupp. He's 9,500. Diggs is 8,900. Keenan Allen is 86, and then Devontae Adams is 82. And then St. Brown is 8,000, and then it kind of dips a little bit lower. So depending on what I'm doing, I mean, I may try to go chalk with one of these guys, like maybe possibly Adams, but then I need to save money. So, like, I'm looking at Washington's receivers, because what I want to do for a lineup this week is see if I can save money and then spend a lot more in the flex spot.
Got it. So who do you like?
I do like London. So I like Adams, I like London, and then I like where did he go on this list? Because I'm trying to find his price. The other receiver in Washington who is not McLaurin.
That is that guy that refuses to score and doesn't do well.
That is Curtis Samuel. That's who I.
No, he's been pretty good. I'm thinking of the other one.
And Dotson.
There you go. Dotson.
Samuel is only $4,000. That's why I'm looking at him. So that's who I like this week.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. I want to spend some money. So the guy that you could never go wrong with is Cooper Cup. He's
Mhm.
9,500. So if you're going to use him, you've got to go low for your next guy. So my next guy is Atlanta receiver. So anytime you say Atlanta receiver, it's a little, I don't know. So I'm going with Matt, excuse me, Matt Collins. He's 3,400. So that's 12,900 between the two guys. And I'm hoping you know, hoping that'll work, hoping that'll average out. And then the third wide receiver, I won't mention because we're not supposed to give a full lineup,
Yeah.
but there's an Arizona receiver that's around 5,300, and they're playing against Seattle, who is the 32nd ranked defense against wide receivers.
Hmm.
I'm saying it could work.
All right. And then on to tight end, where Britt and I usually just say to pick one. I don't. Like looking at this list, I know who I've been disappointed with in tight end this year. I've been disappointed with Kincaid,
All of
and
them.
I have been disappointed with Kincaid, and I have been disappointed with Ertz. It's like they throw to Ertz once, he gets a touchdown. That's his only reception, and then they never throw to him again. And I don't know what the problem is. Couple people I like if you want to, and I know you're gonna be shocked that I'm gonna say this. One person I like is Kyle Pitts, only because for the last only reason because for the last 2 weeks he has been targeted multiple times per game, but he is $4,000, so it is a bit much.
You know, that's the name I was thinking when you said you might be shocked. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
and if
that was shocking.
yeah,
You
and
know
then
what?
if you yeah,
If you're going to take him,
Mhm.
you might as well take the tight end on that team that has scored more fantasy points this year than he
Jonnu
has,
Smith. You're all about
Jonnu
Jonnu Smith.
Smith.
You're all about Jonnu
Well,
this year.
he's scored more points than Pitts. If Pitts' name was like, I don't know, Joe Davis, you wouldn't be interested. It's because his name is, you've heard his name, and he's a generational tight end, and he's a big deal. No, he really isn't.
No,
The experts were wrong.
on him, yeah. I personally think the Bengals should trade for Kyle Pitts. That's just
I would love to see that. I would love to see Pitts on any other team.
yeah, he would probably be good again. So yeah, we won't go over flex because we can't tell you flex spot. Defenses, same. I'm in the same spot here, really. I try not to spend over 3,000 on a defense. I usually save defense for last or like second to last before I put my flex in. The Falcons defense isn't terrible. They have not allowed a rushing touchdown yet this year. They're $2,800. That's who I like. How about you?
Well, usually on defense, I'll go from the bottom up on the list, and the first one that I can see getting turnovers is the one I pick. This week, however, since I went so low on tight end and flex, I had enough money to pick from all but one of the defenses. So the one that I like the most, if I were to do such a thing, would be the Raiders at the Bears, because you've got this kid that's the backup to Fields, and I'm blanking on his name because that's how important he is in the grand scheme of things. But he's starting his first game. I don't watch college because I work every Saturday and it's college. I don't watch. What can I tell you? Everybody doesn't watch college. Anyway, Badgett. I think his name's Tyler Badgett, maybe. Anyway,
Maybe.
I've never heard of the guy until he came into the game last week. So that doesn't have to mean anything. It just means I never heard of the guy. So he's starting his first game. I could see either one of two things I think will happen with the Bears. Either they're going to get hey, we all have to rally around this guy. It's his first start, and they're going to overperform what you would think they would do. Or this guy is the next, what's his name? The Nate,
Nate Peterman.
There you go. This guy might be the next Nate Peterman, and his first 4 passes might be interceptions. So I'm going with the Raiders defense if I had to pick one.
All right. All right, I really think that's it because, like I said in the beginning, folks, there's not a ton going on this week. Really, really, it. Is there any other thoughts, final thoughts, any other thoughts in general you have?
Well, here's my final thought.
Sure.
I'm just looking at the standings now, just so I could get a list of the football teams, so I don't miss any.
Yep.
If you've noticed this year, it's my opinion that there is more bad quarterbacking, and tied with that would be bad offensive lines. So just looking at the AFC, for instance, the Jets have what people would consider a bad offensive line. The Patriots have a bad offensive line. The
Mm-hmm.
Steelers have a bad offensive line. I
Mm-hmm.
think you would say the Bengals have a bad offensive line.
It's not good. Yeah. No.
I think the Texans and the Titans probably have bad offensive lines. I'm up to the 6 now. I don't think the Raiders have a good line. The Chargers don't have a good line. The Broncos, I'm up to 9 of the AFC teams, 9 of the 12 have bad offensive lines. So it's just an observation, but just looking at the AFC, that's 9. If we went through the NFC, I'm sure we could come up with 6 or 7. So what happened to offensive lines? What are they not playing on the
Um.
line in college?
Yeah, I know. I think one of them gets hurt and it screws up everything else because a lot of times what teams do is say like say the left guard gets hurt, right? They move the right guard to left and then they put a backup in at the right guard spot and I think it just screws up
You're
everything.
weakening you're weakening 2 spots instead of 1.
Yeah. They're like, well, the left one is more important with what we're doing, so we need to move you to the left guard, even though you haven't played left guard since you were a sophomore in college, but you can figure it out. And then we just put your backup, who's a left guard backup, we just put him in right guard, and he can figure it out. And it just, yeah, it doesn't work very well. And I think a lot of times those guys have to I think preseason, as much as I hate it, is important for them because they have to work as like one. It's not like we're a receiver or a running back who they're kind of on their own, you know. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
the line has to work as like a single position, and if they're not used to playing with each other, it just gets weird, and that's why you get like false starts and offsides and such. So
I'm
yeah.
just looking at the AFC, the
Mm-hmm.
16 teams in the AFC. There are
Mm-hmm.
only 4 teams with losing records.
No
I don't
kidding.
know that's just interesting. You
Huh.
want to guess them? Go ahead, rattle them off.
Sure. Wow. Okay.
AFC teams losing record. Go.
AFC team with a losing record.
Yes.
So under 500. All right.
Yes.
The Jets.
No, they are 3-3.
Are they? Huh. The
Yes.
Broncos.
They are 1-5. That's 1.
And how many are there?
1 down, 3 to go.
3 to go. All right. Let's see. Who else is not? The Patriots.
The Patriots are 1-5. That's 2 down, 2 to go.
All right. All right. That's not the Dolphins.
No. Do you want a hint to speed this up?
The Chargers.
That is one of them, correct.
Awesome.
You're 3 down, 1 to go.
3 down, 1 to go. Ooh, damn it.
This 2-4 team
Mm-hmm.
is an East Coast team
Oh.
that plays in the South.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Then the Jaguars.
Are 4-2 in first place, so it would not be them.
Really? Huh.
Swear to God.
The Titans.
Yes, the Titans are 2-4. Remember how bad the Houston Texans were?
Yes.
They're 3-3. They
Good
have
for
a
them.
quarterback.
They
have
do have a
CJ
quarterback.
Stroud. And you know what?
He's doing very well.
He's got no offensive line and bad receivers, and he's playing really well. He's 3-3. That is, I hold him up and shine a light upon him because he is the reason. He's the name that I point to when people say, well, Mac Jones doesn't have any receivers. Well, Mac Jones doesn't have any offensive line. He also doesn't have any athleticism or real ability for the position. So that kind of, if he could do it, he'd do it. It's no one else's fault.
So you would like CJ Stroud as your quarterback?
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. He's better than what's his name that's in Carolina?
The average Bear?
That I can't think of the quarterback in Carolina.
See, now I was making a Yogi Bear joke, but it works. He's better than an average Bear.
Wow, poor Sean. Yeah. The Bears are bad. They're very bad.
Hey, just for kicks, let's jump over to the NFC.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 losing teams.
Dear God.
Do you want to guess, or should I just tell you?
I'll guess a couple. All right, losing teams, huh? The Cardinals.
The Cardinals are they are a losing team. They are 1-5.
All right. Let's go with the Bears.
They are a losing team. They are 1-5.
Let's go with the Vikings.
They are 2-4. So they are a losing team. That's 3 down, 3 to go.
The Giants.
Giants are 1-5. They are a losing team. 4 down, 2 to go.
Let's go with the Panthers.
The Panthers are 0-6. Oh, they are definitely a losing team.
So that's one more, huh?
Yep.
The Commanders.
No. The Commanders are 3-3.
Oh, well, good for them. Man, this is bad because a lot of these teams are not good.
The Giants through 6 games have only scored 71 points. That's 11 points a game.
That's terrible.
It's the worst in the NFC. You've got 5 correct. You've got 1 to go.
Oh man, I don't think it's a.
When you know the answer, you will like that. It is the team in Minnesota. The Vikings are 2-4.
I said the Vikings.
Okay, well that's one of them. Who'd you miss? We got the Cardinals.
I said
the Panthers.
I said the Cardinals, the Panthers,
the Bears, the Vikings. Oh, I know the other one.
Okay.
The Bears, the Vikings, the Giants. You have 1 to go.
Okay. Let's go with the team that I kind of liked as a little kid too. Let's go with the Packers.
The Packers are 2-3. You are correct.
You're telling me you're telling me right now in week 7, the NFC North as a whole is worse than the NFC South.
The NFC North has 10 wins and the South has 9 wins. But you've got a 3-2, a 3-3, a 3-3, and an 0-6. So the Panthers are really just dragging the South down.
And the NFC North is not good.
Well, the other thing I'd like to do, but it takes too much time, so I'm not going to. It's always fun to just look at, okay, well, if the playoffs started today, this team is playing that team.
Yeah.
It's going to take too much time to do it, but it's always interesting, and it's never going to stay the same. Here's a bet for you. If you're looking to put $5 down and just give me credit and none of the blame, here's a sleeper MVP bet. Now, I've said it before, the MVP is always going to be a quarterback. It's 9 out of 10 times a quarterback. So I would only bet that a quarterback would win that. The team that is in first place right now and has a super easy schedule is the Lions at 5-1. If you believe the Lions are going to have, if you just looked at their schedule and they're going to run through, if they have the most wins, put $5 down on Jared Goff as MVP.
Ah, interesting.
I don't have DraftKings open or FanDuel to tell you what the odds are, but it's going to be a long shot. He's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be significant, I would think, because if you were to say to me, hey, who's going to win MVP? Jared Goff would not be a name I would come up with.
Valid point. That's a valid point.
But again, if they have an easy schedule, if they have the 1 seed and they finish with 13 or 14 wins, and I could see the Chiefs struggling against, I don't have their schedule, Buffalo, Cincinnati, whoever, and they kind of beat each other, and Miami, once you get to the bad weather and Tua's throwing these floating ducks up there, I could see the Lions potentially having the most wins. If that happened, I'm just saying there's a chance.
That's all you really need. That's all you really need.
So that's my final thought. Do you have any, as we head out into week 7, into the blustery cold of an October evening, do you have a final thought?
My final thought is I just want to remind people of your excellent point of paying attention to the weather, especially in games in the Northeast and in the central part of the U.S.
Unless it's a dome.
Unless it's a dome, clearly. But if it's an outdoor field like the Patriots or like the Steelers, the Bengals, or the Bills, for example, the Jets, definitely pay attention to the weather, because that is greatly going to affect stats and scores a lot. So
should be a very good Sunday night. I think it's wishful thinking. I wish there was a very good Saturday night game. Very good Sunday night game. You've got the Dolphins in Philly against the Eagles. The wind is going to be a factor there. There's probably going to be, I would say, anything over 15 mile per hour winds. It's not about the cold, because they all kind of get used to it. Once you're out there running around, you're not cold. But the wind moves the ball. So I think you're going to see between 15 and 20 mile per hour winds. And Tua does not throw hard. He just throws quickly. If he's throwing it quickly, but it's sailing and floating a little bit, I don't know. You could see something. Something could happen. Yeah, I like Philly. Right. I don't think Philly will lose 2 in a row.
Especially, and they lost to the Jets, so I'm sure that's... And finally, now every team has beaten every team in the NFL. So
it only took how long?
I don't know. They've only played 10 times, so I don't know.
Good for the Jets.
Good for them. Good
Being
for them.
In the Northeast New England area and hearing Jet fans reacting to this team, I cannot wait for them to lose when it matters most. Because you would think that they've already qualified for Super Bowl status 6 weeks in, because they have a 3-3 record.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Sinch, thank you very much for joining me this week. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. And you know what else I'd appreciate? If you listen to this podcast, by chance, a review, especially on Apple iTunes. That's where it really matters. We are on most other podcast aggregators. I think that's the right word. Pretty sure that's the right word. So if you like what you hear, please leave us a review on the Apple iTunes, or if you want to contact us just in general, you could email us, or you can visit our website, fignutsdfs.com.
Look, you don't even have to get off your ass. You could literally sit on your ass, and you could say what you like or don't like about Craig. You'll just say what you like about me, because
exactly.
I don't want negatives.
Listen, just be constructive. That's all I ask. That's it.
I'm just here for the compliments. I'm not here for the criticism.
Exactly. With that, this has been another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. I'm Craig.
I'm Sinch.
Hi, Deb.